It was a typical Sunday, somewhere, AD, and I was once again on the verge toward epic greatness. But I had to collect all the pieces necessary to complete my task. I was once told that the first born son to break the womb was always the chosen one. I traveled back in time to witness the true events that would set up our future, a future of strange events, where you find out that everything ever known was a lie. A future where downside is up and upside is down. If you're hearing the sound of my voice, this is a warning. One time for your mind.
Hi, welcome to another edition of One Time for Your Mind. I'm your host, International Tate Incorporated. And today's lesson is foundation donation. So let's get started. I want to talk about holding grudges and why I don't do it. Why it's a bad thing as far as energy and all that good stuff like that. When you get mad at somebody for making a mistake, it doesn't teach them to make the mistake to go away. It actually teaches the person that made the mistake to hide it. So when I was coming up in the South, I was always told to, forgive and forget. When you got people holding grudges, it's hard to do that. How can you forgive somebody or me forgive somebody when I'm holding a grudge against them? Remembering stuff to bring up at a later date. And we all know the ones that's out there like, I've forgiven you, blah, blah, blah. And 2 years from now, they bring up the exact same thing like it happened yesterday. I'm talking about details and everything, but they can't remember what they cooked last night or when the last time you told them you love them or whatever the case may be. So I want to talk about tally sheets. Because a strong foundation, if nothing is built on a strong foundation, the house is not going to stand. Any type of building. And the reason why they call it a building, because they're still building it. If it was a building, if it was already built, it would just call it a build. So let's just say that your relationship is a building, okay? And they're still building it. You got to start at the foundation, okay? Which is the premise of this actual episode. People keep tallies either on their phone or old-fashioned like paper. They get creative with it. So I had a situation come across my table, across my desk, and I'm bringing it because I asked people, did a survey about, you know, the tally thing, and all the women said, no, we don't keep no tally, blah, blah, blah. And most of the men I encountered said, nah, that's not something I do. So I asked my old lady, and, you know, it came back, nah, I don't do that, blah, blah, blah. But I got to remembering a relationship I was in quite some time ago, and I asked that same exact question. One time for your mind, take notes now. And she said, no, I don't keep tallies. I don't keep it in my phone. I don't keep it on paper. She was correct. She didn't lie to me. But how she was keeping a tally, I started noticing change and stuff all over the house. Like every time I turned around, it was a dime, a nickel, or a penny, or something of that nature. I'll pick it up, I put it inside the piggy bank, think nothing of it. And when she get mad at me, there it goes again, change all over the place. And you know, you expect these type of things to be in the laundry room when people, you know, shake out the change and stuff, drop it on the floor. But in my office, studio, outside, parking lot, you name it, it was there. As fast as I was collecting it, it was showing back up. And then it dawned on me, there was her way of keeping a tally on me. And by her having dimes and nickels on the floor, every time she would pass that area where the incident occurred, it would remind her why she was mad at me, sort of like a foul. Remember now, computers are made by man. And it's not man as in me as a man, but just man as in mankind. Anything inside of a computer, man put it there. So let's look at a person as a computer. And they leave little reminders around for a storage spot or save point to be brought up at a later date. Sounds crazy, right? Let me drop some jewels on you real quick. The first one I want to talk about is how most people live their life. And if you're listening to the sound of my voice, hopefully you're paving your own path. Every man, every woman must walk their own path. Do your own research on these things. So from the age of 0 to 20, the average person is, you know, living, laughing, learning, playing, enjoying life, right? Seems great. Maybe you're living with your parents in the basement or the attic or over the garage, and you don't have any responsibilities, no bills, so you can go out and buy things that you think is or that hold value. You know what I'm saying? Like a car, you put rims on it when it's already been engineered by the engineer to be the best it can be, but you're gonna go out here and put rims on it, and when something breaks, you want to sue the manufacturer. But remember now, when you start changing things, you become an engineer, and it automatically takes the manufacturer out of the situation, so you're in on your own. This is one of the things I learned when I got older. I'm like, I'm not really into that. Now I just want to just make sure it's got heat, AC, maybe a radio, and get me from point A to point B. I don't care about all the flashy stuff. But now they're coming off the assembly line with rims and stuff like that. Back to my message. From 21 to the age of say 65, you're surviving. You know, maybe you're working your Monday through Friday, your regular 40-hour job, 48, or however you want to put it. You get drunk on the weekends. You stop learning. Start complaining about how hard and unfair life is. It's work, 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 work. I don't know who designed the work week for 5 work days and 2 days off. To me, it's not. It's not practical. It's not even. It should be more of a 4-3. You know, 4 on, 3 off, or maybe a 3 on and 4 off. That's more balanced with a 7-day work system. Have you not noticed that Monday is so far from Friday, but Friday is so close to Monday? Thank people. Back to my message. From 66 until death, you're being tired, you're regretting. Now you're going through the process of the wish to be young again, and you're waiting for death to come. Some people are asking for death to come because their life is it's been so hard and they wasted their time. Anybody that wakes up and says, I'm gonna go punch somebody's clock for 60-something years for a social security system that is so broken that they already telling us it's not gonna be there when you get there, You might as well give me all my money back and let me go play the lottery. And for Pete's sake, how many potholes did you pass today on your way home? These are the same companies and corporations that put these things in place. Speaking of corporation, America is a corporation. It's ran like a company. So when you got President Trump saying he's making America great again, he's talking about the company. He's a businessman, so he's the perfect guy to run the business. There's America, the corporation, and America, the country. But that's for another lesson. Let me teach you some tips on how to beat these systems and get out of the stagnation. You're around people that's got stagnation to them and trying to figure out where the energy is coming from. Water has memory to it. What if I told you if you're around a negative situation with people, your clothes pick up the energy and store it? And then when you go to your house, it's like walking in some dog dookie. No matter how much you wipe your feet off at the rug, you seem to drag it in the house. And to the point you have to take them back outside. Maybe even throw the shoes away if you like them, try to wash them out. But, that's neither there nor here. Let's talk about how to stay ahead of the competition, okay? What I do, I watch webinars. Most successful people, they do watch webinars, how to learn how to do things, stay ahead of the curve. Your competition is at home watching Netflix. Speaking of Netflix, the number one category on Netflix is actually witchcraft. Look this stuff up, can't make this stuff up. Witchcraft, magic, and all that stuff, that's what's popping right now, and quote, on Netflix. Okay, they got Netflix on your cell phones, they're broadcasting, some places are giving it to you for free. The only thing they're not doing is typing it up or putting it in a book. Shout out to the Reading Rainbow. I watched that in the 80s coming up. Also, I forgot to say this episode is brought to you by Soul Harmony. Shout out to Soul Harmony. Definitely enjoying the music. Successful people go to seminars, while their competition go to concerts. Successful people go to the gym. Keep the body worked out. But remember, your mind is also a muscle. You got to work that out too. So this is where the books come in. Right. While the competition goes to the bar, party scene. Successful people work on their side hustle. If you're going to work 8 to 12 hours for somebody else, surely you can go home and work on your side project for an hour. That's how Bill Gates them got rich. Jeff Bezos and Steve Jobs, and I can go on and on. These guys started in the garage, you know what I'm saying? No secretary or nothing. They had a dream and an ambition. Some of these guys didn't even have money and or education. Didn't finish what we call school. If you learned everything in high school or from 0 to 12, there'll be no need for college. So it goes to show you that they don't teach you everything from 0 to 12. They only teach you how to work for somebody else. That's why we're doing Career Day. You never hear people say, I want to be a millionaire, a billionaire. I want to create jobs so that your grandkids can work for me. You'll never hear that. You hear the firemen, the doctors, lawyers, now maybe a rapper, singer, dancer. Just the basic stuff, which in a category, you signing something where you're still working for somebody else. Be an entrepreneur. More entrepreneurs have been created during the downside of the economy than when on the upside of the economy. So when people have time to think about things, you're gonna survive, man. Stack the Star Foundation. Survival of the fittest. Successful people not only they work on their side hustle, they take notes of that side hustle while their competition goes to bed early. I don't know where early is, but I gotta sleep and rest up to go back to my job the next day, only to come back home and complain and bring the negative energy. You see where this is going? Successful people do what they love and travel the world, while their competition slaves away at the 9 to 5 until the age of 65 or even longer. Very, very, very spooky. Rich people would rather be educated than entertained, while poor people would rather be entertained than educated. Now, don't get me wrong. I like sports. I don't love them. You know, you out here just shouting at the TV. You know, you become a sport analyst overnight, but you can't count 10 on your fingers. And I'm supposed to believe in all that right there. I can't argue with that. But if that's what you're into, great. Like I said, these people are getting paid. And we all got friends out here. Hopefully you're listening to me, you got friends. If I'm in the Super Bowl and I'm playing against the competition, and I'm in their city, and we lose, I'm not going back flying wherever I came from. I'm gonna go party with them. It's a game, okay? I got friends on that team and got enemies on my own team. Sound familiar again, does it not? One time for your mind. Everyday habits that drain your energy. Okay, when I leave the house full. When I return home, I'm an empty vessel because I pour out my energy to people I come in contact with. Okay, that's a donation to you. And do it for free. Because if you're eating good and I'm eating good, that's one less person I got to worry about robbing me. So it makes sense to keep the competition great. You know, doing a little bit better than say the competition, because keep your enemies close and your friends close and your enemies even closer. Some of y'all sleeping with the enemy right now listening to the sound of my voice. But it's neither there nor here. Number one, don't take things personally. If I tell you something or somebody tells you something, take it with a grain of salt. Okay? I think constructive criticism is necessary in the building process to be who you're ordained to be anyway. So take it with a grain of salt. If you got haters, you're doing your job. And if they're talking about you behind your back, that means you're out in front. You're welcome. Number two, like I said earlier, holding on to the past. Grudges, keeping tally sheets, notes, or the coin situation I told you about. That's a no-no. Number three, checking your social media 24/7. I'm not going to give credit and give shout outs to these social media sites, but you know the biggest one, I'm not on there anymore. I've been out there 4 years, but I was once caught up in that cycle of checking it every 5-10 minutes, checking it at lunch and breakfast to see how many likes I got, and my whole day was determined on that. Until I started realizing that it was a psychological thing that was going on. My own old lady, I think, would put little side messages on there in hopes that I would see it. And that would make my day worse or better. Meanwhile, they're posting pictures of themselves and, you know, tight clothes and this and that and the third. But they never ever post a picture with you and them together. But when y'all go out in public, they want to hold hands and kiss and, you know, play house. PDA. PSA. I don't do PDA and I don't play house. So if it's not happening at home, really at home, we're not social at home, we can't be social on social media. It's no for me. Number four, overstressing. I like to complete projects and complete projects on time. So if I got 10 projects, I'd rather have one project completed than to have 10 small projects open. That's counterproductive to me. That causes you to stress out. 5, sleeping in late. I'm an early bird. I wasn't an A-shift person at first, but you know, I have to realize that the early bird gets the worm. And I may pay for it up front, but in the end, I bask in the benefits. Number 6, fueling drama. And this is not only a female trait, men are doing these things as well. And you know the ones that are out there fueling and passing the messages, you know, maybe you're inboxing somebody, you're beefing with somebody, you're gonna inbox the guy, and then you see the guy every single day and don't say anything to him. Where I come from, that's a no-no. We don't do that. We don't fuel drama. Number 7, having a poor diet. If the doctor, whoever, the herbalist has told you that you are eating this right here and it's causing mucus in your body, and you take it away for a while and you realize that the sickness and the coughing goes away, well, why would you return back to that? That's the definition of insanity. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. The only thing insanity is not associated with is being rich. Because some people get rich and they get poor again. But if you're born rich, can you stay rich? That's a question I have for y'all. Number 8, overthinking. Go with your gut instinct. If you think it's right, roll with it, man. Don't need to go into this and that and the third. Go with your first instinct, okay? Number 9, pointless small talk. I don't know about you, but my time is very, very valuable. So if you're not talking about something with some meat on it, some substance, you know what I'm saying? Miss me with it. Let me leave with this little nugget. And y'all take it and spread it around. Take credit for it. Because I believe in giving back. And the gift that keeps on giving is in the book. It's knowledge. No matter how high the bird always fly, it still has to come back down to the ground to eat. So the moral of that story is, be humble. I'm your host, the International Tate Incorporated. Thank you for your time. 1 time for your mind, 2 times for the grind. Season 2, baby.
We've come to a conjunction in time where people just have to be informed. One time. One time for your mind. That's the end of the song. Different dead, another dog, but always the same drum. Why I gotta take death for the family come together? Leave hating to the face, take time to love each other. We all out in this wicked world, ain't nothing new to me. I got a key, but I keep a gun for security. The government fabricated a lot of rob your community. I'm getting rate on my money cause Uncle Sam screwing me. You on top of things now, the gal didn't to you underground. You know what's going down, what goes around, comes back around. You was eating good, but it's time for you to suffer now. Lost all respect, found your heart in a lost found. Yeah. I got it right in the song called When I Call Your House, You Don't Pick Up the Phone. I don't mean to clean your clock, hope your shit find a dime. Been dug up where you fly, hold your door slam locked. One time. One time. One time. One time for your mind. One time. One is the one time. One time for your mind. One time for your mind. One